In this video I'm talking about the M.Zuiko 40-150mm f2.8 Pro Zoom lens. Hi there, I'm Peter Forsgren, a professional photographer and an Olympus visionary from Helsinki, Finland. When this lens was introduced in 2014 in Photokina, that was the moment that I was convinced that I will switch to Olympus. And the reason was that at the time 70-200mm lens was one of the most used lenses, and this one is pretty close to that. It's actually a bit better reach than the 70-200, but we'll get into that later in this video. And when I was writing the script for this video, I actually was quite surprised at how many different things that I have used this lens for. I have used it for city birds, seminars, details in the city, editorials, cityscapes, concerts. And let's talk about the specs a bit. The focal length is from 40mm to 150mm, which is a 80-300mm in full frame terms. The angle of view is from 30 degrees to 8.2 degrees. The widest aperture is f2.8. But let's continue with the specs. The length is 160mm and the lens weighs 880 grams. The diameter is 79mm and the filter thread is 72mm. It's weather sealed, splash proof and freeze proof. It comes with the lens hood, but the mechanism is a bit tricky. It is kind of smart, but it breaks pretty easily. So this is my second lens hood on this one, and I've had it for almost 5 years, this lens. But the way it works, you just have to turn this and then turn it back. But it's in a way it's a good thing because it's always with you. But be careful when using it. Don't be too or use too much strength when you do it. The 300mm f4 lens has a similar mechanism on its lens hood, but it has been made a little bit different, so it has a more durable mechanism. The zooming is internal, and the front element doesn't change or move when you zoom, which is very good. If you have a polarizer here, you won't have to adjust it again when you use the zoom, and I think that's a very good. As you can see, the size remains the same when I'm zooming. And the lens also has a tripod collar to get it more balanced when using it on a tripod. And it also has a MF clutch for easy manual focusing. The M.Zuiko 40-150mm is also compatible with the extenders MC14 and the new MC20. The MC14 makes the 40-150mm lens a 56-210mm, and it has the same angle of view as a 112-420mm in full frame terms. The MC20 doubles the focal length. And remember, the extender also affects the aperture. This lens does not have an image stabilizer. It doesn't really matter because the Olympus cameras have a very, very effective IBIS in the body. But if Olympus ever decides to make a new version, the Mark II version of this lens, which I hope they do, then they should add the image stabilizer, because when you have very long focal lengths like 150, which is equivalent to 300mm, the IBIS is not that effective. For longer focal lengths, to be honest, a stabilizer in the lens is a bit more effective. And Olympus already have some lenses that have optical image stabilizer, the 300mm f4, and then there is the 12-100mm f4 lens. They both have stabilizer, and the reason is because of the focal length. The closest focusing distance is 70 centimeters, so you can get pretty close with this lens. And all in all, very nice lens to use, and I really like this lens. But hey, thanks for watching, and bye for now.